today we take a look at Swiss banking and all the benefits you can enjoy when opening a bank account in Switzerland. Now in the past years, the Swiss banking system has undergone some major changes that now reduce the power of its banking secrecy laws. However, the banking system in Switzerland still has some great benefits, and especially if you are looking for an offshore bank with unfettered access to the US and the EU market, then this is definitely the way to go. The main benefits of a Swiss bank account. The first major benefit from having your money in a Swiss bank account is the financial security and stability. This is not just limited to the banking system, but to the Swiss economy as a whole. The Swiss debt to GDP ratio has been hovering between 38 and 42% for the past 10 years. Now compare this to the debt to GDP ratio of Germany and Australia at 68 and 76%, while Canada, the UK and the United States are all surpassing the 100%, with the US hitting a whopping 136%. Combine this with the strict banking laws concerning capital requirements, an emphasis on safe banking practices and the very stable Swiss franc, and you can rest assured that your money will be safe whenever you need it. Another security feature of a Swiss bank account is the protection against litigation. Nowadays, the automatic exchange of information and other international standards have made Switzerland very transparent when it comes to tax evasion. However, this does not apply to cases where there is no crime involved and the legal proceedings are just about getting a payday, such as with civil suits. So a Swiss bank account will make it very difficult for a foreign company or individual to get hold of your assets. The second benefit of holding a Swiss bank account is the option to choose the currency for your Swiss account. Now, if you choose to have your funds in Swiss francs, you will receive a small annual interest on the account. However, you will then also have to pay a Swiss withholding tax on the funds that you have. When you choose a foreign currency, the withholding tax is not applied, and since you are living in another country, you then also avoid paying the currency conversion fees when doing transactions. Next to this, you can still get some interest on the account by placing it in a mutual fund. A money market fund would be ideal for this specific situation, so check out the mutual fund video on this channel to learn more about how mutual funds work. I will link it in the top right corner over here and in the comment section down below. You can still get a numbered account at some private banks in Switzerland. Of course, this is no longer suitable if your sole purpose was to evade taxes with these, since even these accounts will have to be reported to the automated exchange of information system. However, numbered accounts can do more than just keep the tax man away. Another benefit of numbered accounts is anonymous wire transfers, where your name will not show up on the recipient's account. It will only show the name of the bank, and this could be ideal in situations where you want to support a controversial cause anonymously, or you want to invest in industries that carry a lot of public scrutiny and outrage. Now, you will be required to deposit a higher minimum amount and keep a higher minimum account balance. In addition, you will also have higher annual costs for maintaining this account. Before we continue, please like and subscribe to the channel for more finance and banking information. When doing business across Europe and in the United States, it can be a great help to have a Swiss bank account. Most companies will assume that the individual or the company has passed the strict due diligence process that is now in place, and they will have no reason to doubt the legitimacy of the funds. When dealing with negotiable instruments such as a letter of credit, the bank's reputation will matter even more, and this will make securing a deal much easier and speed the process up a lot. Switzerland does not apply an inheritance tax on foreign held accounts, so passing on your funds to your heirs can be completed without any losses. It will be up to your heirs to declare their received inheritance in their home country. Asset protection from unlawful seizure. So depending on where you live in the world, you could be dealing with an organization or a governmental institution that abuses the local laws and jurisdiction. In many instances, this leads to unlawful seizures of your assets. So if you live in one of these regions and you are critical of the government or have an exotic lifestyle or are involved in politics, you are probably better off placing your assets offshore. Switzerland is the safest place in the world for this specific purpose, since the government itself has prohibited by law to share information with other organizations or governmental institutions. Only under extreme circumstances, when there is clear indication of a specific crime, then will it be able to access the account information. This is more secure than in other Western countries, since these have all continuous access to the client accounts and can freeze these with little to no evidence. This all means that the Swiss government will never force their banks to collaborate with a fraudulent international request to freeze or seize assets, especially in cases where the alleged crime is not a criminal offense in Switzerland. Choosing the right bank. A very important thing to consider when you choose a Swiss bank is that you do not choose one that is located in your own country, since you will lose all of the main benefits if you choose a local branch of a Swiss bank. Local banks have to follow local laws, which means no stringent capital requirements, looser solvency rules, less privacy protection, and no unlawful seizure or litigation protection. so it's always best to deal with the actual head office in Switzerland itself. For more on the best banks in Switzerland, have a look at this top 5 Swiss banks video here in the top corner, and I'll also link it down below in the comments. If you are opening an account and also want to use it for foreign investments, then a private bank is the best way to go. However, these will typically require a deposit of $1 million and up. For lower deposits in the $50,000 to $100,000 region, you can still open accounts at any of the other commercial banks. Now, even though some banks will accept minimum deposits as low as $10,000, I would really not recommend going that low. In fact, depositing much lower amounts than $50,000 hardly makes it worth your trouble, since all these nice Swiss banking services come at a cost. For simple international transfers, you will be paying $3 to $5, and for checks this goes up to $10. You will also be paying a hefty annual maintenance fee, which is based on how active you use the account. As you can see, it makes more sense to transfer large funds a few times per year and invest those in safe, low-risk products like treasury bills or money market funds. This way, the growth of your account will outweigh the costs. Opening the account. So the best way to open an offshore account is in person, since this gives you the highest level of privacy and no paper trail of emails, phone calls, wire transfers, etc. Since this might not be practical for most people, you can also open your Swiss bank account online. Now, in the past this would have been easy and fast, however due to the new regulation and the anti-money laundering laws, you will need to send over a lot of documentation. First up is verifying your identity. This consists of authenticated copies of your passport and the confirmation of your field of work and income. This includes your tax returns and documents of the companies you own. If your work activities require any licenses, these will also need to be included. Now, secondly, you must provide proof of origin. So if you are transferring large funds from sold assets, these will need to be specified and you will need to show proof that you actually own these assets before the sale. If all the funds are coming from dividend income from the company you own, you will be required to show proof of ownership and annual reports and proof of the funds in the company account. The third batch of information is about your place of residence and your intent. This will include all of your personal information about where you live, accompanied with an official government letter or a utilities bill to show proof of address. Next to this, you also need to specify your intent with the funds once your Swiss bank account is created. After the bank goes through all the information and approves you, they will set up your account and you can begin the transfer. You should note that the account holder must be 18 years of age, so you can't create an account in the name of your children. They would have to go through the entire process themselves. Now you know how to open a bank account in Switzerland. In the next videos, I'll take a look at the Swiss banking privacy laws and the history of Swiss banking. So for now, please like and subscribe to the channel for more finance and banking information. Take care.